Let's hack someone's birth chart in real time. Now, 99% of clients that come to me want one of three things. Every now and then I get to do something cool as a neurospicy astrologist, like I had a call with a client last week and we figured out the perfect time and date for her C-section, which was so fun. But mostly most people come to me with one of three categories that they need help with. The first one is love, romance, finding your soulmate. The second one is money and career related things. And the third one, this might surprise you a little bit, is friendships and friendships in adult. If you'd like to be featured in a future Uncharted Territory, stick around till the end and I'll tell you exactly how. By the way, I'm Nadia, and I also have a data addiction. In the comments, I would love it if you tell me what sign rules your 11th house, because that's your house of friendship. So this person wanted to know how they can go about to find their soul tribe or a new friendship circle. And this chart is quite loud about it. Now, usually when we are looking at friendships, community, collectives, we go to the 11th house. When we want to see one-on-one relationships, those deep relationships between lovers, friends that become like soul siblings, we look at the 7th house. The interesting thing about this chart is that the 11th house and the 7th house has mutual reception. It doesn't work like most mutual reception because of one very interesting fact. Now, if you're new to astrology, you're watching along, I know this person isn't new, so please don't find this me patronizing you, but I want the entire community to benefit from it. So one of the first things when I look at mutual reception, which means two signs have two planets that rule them, they're in each other's sign. So Aries is ruled by Mars, which is in his 11th house, the house of friendship. Leo is ruled by the Sun, which is in his 7th house, the house of one-on-one relationships. Now, I want to use the analogy of a bonfire. The problem is if you don't see them as one big bonfire and you see them as two separate flames, it becomes really difficult to tend to both of them. Because the inner circle, the people closer to you, and the collective soul tribe, the outer circle, are all coming to sit around the same bonfire. And this is especially relevant because the Sun is exalted in Aries. Usually with mutual reception, there's a bit of uncomfortableness between the two signs having to share a apartment complex. However, in this case, they're quite happy to share because they're very similar. So from this, it's very clear you're not a hermit, you're not a lone wolf, you're the keeper of a bonfire that people gather around. And your chart is very unique, because most people can separate their love life, their intimate relationships, the people that become part of their soul tribe from the collective, meeting loads of people, having a large network that they are able to converse with. However, there's a catch, and it's not just the fact that Mars is the insect malefic, which is in the 11th house, which makes things a little bit more difficult because you have to work for it, but it's because Mars is retrograde in the 11th house. When Mars goes retrograde, it starts behaving a little bit oddly. Now, it's probably ingrained in you and your instinct is to wait. Wait before you tend the bonfire because you're probably very good at keeping relationships alive. However, starting them is a little bit tricky with a retrograde Mars. The thing to understand is that you hold the matches. You're not just the guy that is great at tending to the fire. You're also quite proficient in setting up and lighting the fire. And there's another element to it. Your 11th house, Mars, directly sextiles your Jupiter in Sagittarius. Jupiter in Sagittarius is very eloquent, is able to talk to anyone and see different points of view. It is also an incredibly lucky planet. Now, it is your out of sec benefic, so it is a little bit tricky to navigate. However, that direct line shows that you're naturally good at tending to the fires, and probably naturally good at lighting them if you give yourself permission. Now, this year, you are in an 8th house perfection year, which is in Taurus. So Venus rules this year. And in Taurus, in the 8th house, you have your South Node and your vertex. So you're probably very comfortable with deeper, more esoteric and more nuanced topics. And you're also very much likely to meet people with your vertex there that like and appreciate these topics as well. But let's go and find Venus and see where she's hanging out. She's hanging out in the 5th house, the house of play, romance, fun, children. And she's also your insect benefic, so she's very strong. And she's in Aquarius, which is naturally linked to the 11th house. So this gives you an edge this year. Not only do you have luck on your side, but you also have some pretty interesting, unconventional, quirky and nuanced ways of attracting other people to you with your fun personality and the way you come across. So if you were my client or I were you, this is the things that I would do this year to speed up finding my soul tribe. The first thing, I would stop separating the soul tribe that I want to attract from the people I already know that I'm already close to. Your soul tribe won't be in a random internet room at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're going to come for people that you already know, like, and trust. 2, Mars is in retrograde, so initiate and stop waiting. One of the biggest lessons you have to learn in your 11th house, and incredibly capable, is that you are just as capable with initiating and dealing with rejection as you are attending to friendship and soul connections. When you reach out, look at it through a Venusian lens. And that is the 5th house, joy, fun, playfulness. That is where your Venus is located. And you're going to go through an incredibly transformational year. This is the caution because you have your South Node in Taurus in the 8th house. This means it's probably an area you're very comfortable in. Talking about death, transformation, the more hidden occult themes, you're really naturally good at it. If you're going to grind through it and do it on your own, this year is not going to be fun because it activates that 5th house. It also activates this friendship, relationship, mutual reception. So don't be afraid to go deep, do the difficult work and really focus on transformation, but do it through a Venusian lens of play, of creativity, of going deep but not grinding at it, and enjoying going deep and having this transformation. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you want to be featured in a future episode, I will need either in the DMs or in the comments your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and very important, one question you'd like me to answer. Otherwise, these videos go very long and very generic. If you pop the word chili, like chili pepper, because we're having a heat wave, in the comments, I will enter you into the next draw twice.